live. We are still at the SADC official open handover at the 44th, where we've just been witnessing the President of Zimbabwe officially being handed over the chairmanship of the SADC. And we've been speaking to various guests, and with us as well, we've got Ambassador Mutsvangwa, just to have a bit of some insights as far as this development is concerned. Ambassador Mutsvangwa, thank you so much for having this time with us. What significance is this to us as a nation, Zimbabwe?
Oh, it is a grand occasion today. We had our sister Republic Angola, which was the chairman of SADC. The head of state, Comrade Lorenzo, came to Zimbabwe as part of a big delegation of fellow SADC heads of states. And all the occasion was the 44th SADC summit. And the main event of the day was the assumption of the chairmanship of SADC by President Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. This is a big thing for himself as a statesman. It's the ultimate recognition by fellow sister republics of the SADC region, a region which is made up of neighbors, a region which is made up of fellow liberation war, former liberation movements which are now in government, a region which over the period of our struggles against apartheid, against racism, against colonialism, we acquired a political soul to cement our political links. We acquired also a shared vision about where we want to go as a region. So here we are today. We transformed this former anti-colonial bloc into an economic development bloc. We are now 200 million, more than 200 million SADC citizens. We are all striving for shared prosperity. The beauty about it is that we have the resources to actually carve out a role in global affairs. Between us, we are major resource owners of some of the most important developing minerals for development. South Africa and Zimbabwe, we are top in platinum. South Africa and Zimbabwe, we are top in chrome, which is necessary for steel production. The DRC and Zambia, they are top in copper. The DRC itself is top in cobalt. All these are the minerals which drive modern national global economic development.
All right.
And beyond that, we in Zimbabwe, we have a lot of iron ore, and we have now this added advantage that we recently commissioned the Manise, pre-commissioned the Manise steel plant, the biggest on the African continent, with the latest capital, the latest technology now being made available to Zimbabweans to produce world-class steel destined for the global markets. These are all ingredients for accelerated and shared development among the member states of SADC, but more important, we are poised to carve out a role in the new and developing African free trade area of 1.2 million youthful and dynamic consumers. So this is Africa's hour. This is the renaissance of Africa actually at play, and we now have our president being given the gavel to actually deliver all these prospects of development within SADC as a gift to an Africa which is carving out its role in global economic affairs.
Some would water down this role that has been given and say it is nothing much but a ceremonial role which just goes in 365 days as they hand over to the next best person in SADC. Is it of any much significance then?
Well, these are people who are grumpy about the achievements of Africa. Anything which Africa does, they want to disparage it. But look, here's a region which took upon itself to remove colonialism, to remove imperial control, to remove apartheid, to remove racism, to receive settler minority rule. When it was happening, everybody thought it was a joke. But here we are, by 1994, we had rid Africa of these vestiges of foreign control. A region whose youth can pay the ultimate sacrifice to deliver freedom and democracy and independence. You cannot look down on them. You do it at your own peril. This is a this is a very capable region. It has taken on some of the biggest modern powers of retrogression, which is the West, and brought them to heel in the anti-colonial, anti-imperial, anti-racism struggle. This is a much easier struggle for us because we now have our own capacities being applied for our own benefit. We are releasing our own energy, and there is a lot of energy among the people of Southern Africa in the new direction of economic development. If you can deliver the freedom and the independence at the price of death, it's easier to deliver economic development at the price of your own commitment to your own resources, which God has been so generous to give to Southern Africa.
I want to come back to that issues of liberation ethos and sacrifice that has been done. But I'm still sticking to this one just before I go back to that one. From a broader perspective, many people want to understand what is it that we can achieve as a SADC chairman that we were not able to achieve. The major difference that this really signifies as far as Zimbabwe is concerned. What is it that is quite significant about this that Zimbabwe should probably maybe look out to, maybe in simpler layman terms?
Look, we want to build upon what the other SADC states have been doing over the years, but beyond that, we are the ones who put the issue of industrialization center stage to the agenda of SADC a couple of years ago, but now it has been adopted, by the summit as the main plank of the next challenge of SADC. And it is coming at a time when Zimbabwe survived some of the onerous sanctions ever imposed upon an African state, indeed upon any state, American congressional sanctions, statutory sanctions against Zimbabwe. We braved through those when we were supposed to buckle under regime change. We survived. But beyond mere survival, we have now started using our resources to apply them to the best capital which is available on the global stage. If you look at the people who are investing in our lithium sector, these are the top billionaires who are driving the new energy electric vehicle sector today. The best industrialists in lithium, they are in Zimbabwe. Out of 6, 4 are in Zimbabwe. So we are now getting exposure to the best technology, to the best capital, to the best management expertise to produce world-class goods made in Zimbabwe for the global market. You look at the steel sector, Tsingshan, it's a Fortune 500 company. It has carved a role itself in stainless steel, in nickel. It has carved a role of itself in the new energy electric vehicle sector. So here is again a very competent, capable, world-class company in Zimbabwe. The best billionaire in the steel business is in Zimbabwe. So we are not cutting corners in terms of exposure to technology. We are not cutting corners in terms of exposure to capital. We are not cutting corners in terms of expertise which we bring into Zimbabwe. If you look at the achievements which were done at Manize, young Zimbabweans, they built the superstructure of that steel plant with the best technology available on the market today.
Yeah, I'm trying to draw you.
What I'm trying to say is that we are going for the best possible technology available. We are inviting a capital under the Open for Business mantra so that Zimbabwe's resources can produce world-class goods made for the global market. So we are carving a role. We are honing ourselves for the role which we are assuming now under the chairmanship of President Edin Mnangagwa in the Second Republic. We have done it at home. We have proof of concept that it can be done by what I've just cited to you. The proof of concept is there, and we are building upon that template to go to the next stage.
So some heads of states, and specifically I would also want to mention maybe Zambian President Hichilema, who did not manage to make it here. What is your sentiment towards these ups and these?
Look, there are many things which may be on the platter of a head of state at any particular time. So it is not for us Zimbabweans to judge as to why he should or should not, or why he should not have been here. What we know is that we have very good relations with Zambia. We are fated as sister states with Zambia. We are fated with the history. We are fated to be together in the future. So there is nothing, we can't wish it out. We can't wish our brotherhood away. We can't wish the bonds which have tied the people of Zimbabwe and Zambia together for so many ages. So we are not unduly miffed by
Some
this
would say
absence.
that the last statements that were made by the president during the Russian television, that he was worried about the American friendship with Russia, that it may be also straining relations between Zimbabwe.
This is not the time to talk about those things which may make us go asunder. This is the time to talk about things which bring Zambia and Zimbabwe together. So I'm not going to comment on things which will soon be bypassed by the passage of events. The trucks will still pass through Zimbabwe carrying copper and cobalt from Zambia through Zimbabwe to Beira. That won't change. So look, this is our celebration. Our Zambian foreign minister was here. The Zambians were following events in Zimbabwe. They wish us well, and this is what I would dwell on. Those things which make Lusaka and Harare come together. That is my focus.
Right. Allow me to just draw you away from the SADC conference. Let me just jump straight into the Zambian PF politics. Lately, you've been on the headlines of what could be or how could be the next succession as far as Zambian PF politics is concerned.
This is the hour of SADC. We are at the summit of SADC. We are talking about industrialization. We are not talking about issues which are extraneous to what we are facing.
You had exclusively answered those ones.
So we are here for the SADC summit. It's a grand occasion, and we are not going to spoil it by talking about extraneous issues.
Does it spoil it, Honorable?
It does, because we want the people of Zimbabwe to keep their focus on the agenda of industrialization, the fact that
it is done and dusted successfully, ain't it?
Their president has assumed the chairmanship. It's a time of celebration. It's not a time of talking about issues which are really extraneous to the agenda of SADC today.
Ambassador Mutsvangwa, we do thank you so much, and I appreciate the time that you've just given unto us. That we have just one or two few words there coming through from the Ambassador Mutsvangwa, speaking on quite interesting issues as far as the Zimbabwe tragedy is concerned, and of course the chairmanship of Zimbabwe to the SADC. You're also heading clearly vetting the topical issues of the Zambian issue and also about the internal Zambian PF succession issues. But it is what it is. My name is Tonio, reporting live from the Parliament. It's www.technic.tv. Crew behind the scenes and everybody else. It's a wrap for now. Goodbye.